Hey everybody! The season is halfway over and the trade deadline is already here. In today's video, we're going to take a look at how the Dodgers are doing as a team as well as individually, and we'll take a look at the MLB Trade Deadline to see if maybe the Dodgers are going to make a big splash. All of this is extremely time sensitive, so let's get to it. Today is August 31st, and the Dodgers are 26-10. They're in first place in the National League West, and they're a full 5 games ahead of the Padres with only 24 games to play. Things are looking pretty good on that front. Once again, let's pull out the old calculator, do a few calculations, and figure out that the Dodgers are on pace for 43 wins. Mookie Betts is really good. Honestly, Mookie's been even better than advertised. If you look at the leaderboards right now, he's currently leading the Dodgers in home runs, RBIs, runs scored, and stolen bases. The guy can do it all. Cody Bellinger has officially snapped out of his early season funk. Way back in mid-April, he was batting .165, but ever since then, he's been slugging like crazy. Over his last 16 games, he's hit 8 home runs, and he's increased his batting average by about 60 points. Corey Seager is a stud again. It's not that big of a surprise. This is a guy that early in his career was one of the best young shortstops in the game. In 2016 and 2017, he was a 2-time Silver Slugger, a 2-time All-Star. He's a guy who got down-ballot MVP votes. But then he got injured in 2018, and 2019 was not that great. All of a sudden, you started to see his name in trade rumors, and you started to wonder if he was a long-term fit for this team. Well, 2020, he's been downright awesome. He's been super duper consistent, hitting the ball hard to all fields, and just been one of the best offensive players on a ridiculously deep team. The Dodgers offense has just been fantastic any way you look at it. Max Muncy and Jock Peterson are starting to heat up. Justin Turner has been steady as always. AJ Pollock is having a good year. They're getting production out of guys like Kike Hernandez and Chris Taylor, and the catchers have been good. Overall, the offense is completely loaded just like we thought it was. No big surprises here. All systems are go. On the other side of the ball, Clayton Kershaw seems like he's found the fountain of youth. He's got 4 wins. He's got a sub-2 ERA, a sub-1 whip. That'll do. That'll do just fine. The other ace of the rotation hasn't been quite as good. Walker Buehler started the season pretty slowly. When the season started, he wasn't ready. He wasn't stretched out. He wasn't pitching very well. But he finally got his first win of the year in his last start. Against the Rockies, he threw 6 innings, gave up only 1 run, struck out 11 guys, and didn't walk anybody. So it seems like he's good to go now. After their top 2 starters, the Dodgers have a pretty good, reliable mix of young starters in their rotation, but I don't really see anybody that stands out as a clear-cut number 3 right now. Julio Urias has looked good. He's been pretty steady. Dustin May probably has the most upside out of the group. Ross Stripling started the season pretty well, but then he kind of has been struggling of late. They've also got a couple of great starts out of Tony Gonsolin, the rookie. Alex Wood is on the disabled list, so if he ever gets healthy, he might be able to come back and give the rotation a shot in the arm. But all in all, they're in pretty good shape as far as the starting rotation goes. The bullpen, on the other hand, has been a huge surprise. They've been absolutely awesome. Kenley Janssen is looking like a stud closer again. He's getting life on his cutter, and that makes all the difference in the world for him. Right now, he's converted 9 out of 10 save opportunities. He's striking guys out. He's looking great. On top of that, the entire bullpen has pretty much been lights out. Caleb Ferguson has been awesome. Kolarek, Alexander, Blake Trinan, all of these guys have been very, very dependable. Plus, they've got the rookie Brusdar Graterol, and all he does is come in and throw easy 100 miles per hour heat. I really don't see any weakness in this bullpen, and that's a big change from years past. So, no surprise here, this team is really good. They've got a great offense, starting pitching has been reliable, the bullpen has been lights out, and they're going to win this division easily. Now when the playoffs get here, we'll have a little bit more to worry about because we're talking about an expanded playoff pool, we're talking about a best-of-3 series to start the playoffs, but we'll talk more about that when the time comes. For now, smooth sailing. The trade deadline is here. In a normal season, this is my absolute favorite time of the year. I'm constantly staring at my phone, refreshing Twitter, trying to see what big moves are going to happen, who the Dodgers might land. In years past, they've made some big trades. They've got guys like Manny Machado and Yu Darvish. This year, I don't really see them making a big splash. For one, the team is just good. There's no apparent weakness on this team. The only thing I could see them going after is a frontline starter to put with Clayton Kershaw and Walker Buehler in a short playoff series. And there is one guy available who fits that bill, and that would be Texas starting pitcher Lynn. I would be in favor of the Dodgers going after Lynn. He'd be a great addition. If they could get him for some low-level prospects and maybe one or two guys out of their major league depth, then I would be all for that. But I don't think Texas is going to accept a deal like that. They're going to be asking for a boatload. And I'm positive that Andrew Friedman is not going to overpay. This is a guy who has consistently held on to our top prospects year after year, and I expect him to do more of the same this season. And trust me, if anybody knows Andrew Friedman, it's me, because I bumped into him one time at spring training. True story. But don't just take my word for it. MLB insider Ken Rosenthal wrote a piece for The Athletic yesterday where he summed up all of his latest intel on the eve of the deadline. Here's what he said about the Dodgers. The loaded Dodgers are attempting to zig while others zag, working on smaller deals in which they would part with some of their depth for prospects. So, don't expect the Dodgers to make a big splash, at least not this year. Alright everybody, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please give me a like or subscribe or a comment down below. I can't believe how quickly this season is going, and before long we're going to be talking about the playoffs. Until next time, think blue.